Superintendent of Hanover-Horton Schools, John Denney. Good morning, John.
Good morning, guys.
Yeah,
Happy birthday.
Thank you. I bet you're glad your name's not Jazz today.
You know, part of it is they're such a large district that, it'd be like a lot of us around here having, hundreds of thousands of dollars to cut. But it's honestly not that unusual a problem for a lot of schools around the state right now. We intentionally did not put the COVID money into people because we knew the COVID money was going to dry up.
Right.
And if you read some of the initial articles, they've dropped about 1,000 students in the last 4 or 5 years that a lot of people didn't like how they handled COVID.
Right.
And they left to the outer districts. And they added 400 staff people. I don't know, a combination of teachers, aides, everything else, but you tie that into a $15 million clerical mistake. What they did is we get money from the state to offset some of the retirement costs. Well, they had $15 million that came in, and that $15 million goes right out. Well, their bookkeeper didn't put it in the out column, just left it in the revenue column. And that will add to a big gaping hole in your budget.
Yeah, it will. That's a big number. Ooh.
Wow, I wonder if the bookkeeper's on that layoff list.
I would assume so. Probably so.
That would be a tough conversation to have.
Very tough. Very tough. So things are winding down for you at Hanover-Horton and for the school year. Let's first talk school year. You guys got graduation coming up. Seniors,
Friday night.
Seniors already, are their cars out of the parking lot?
Their last day was Tuesday.
Yeah.
When did they drive the tractors?
Did they do the tractor?
That's the last day of school, period.
Okay. All right.
So the seniors, they did a camp out at the school this year. Hung out. A lot of them ended up, instead of trying to put up tents because that was too much work, they just slept in their cars.
Yeah.
It was, and then they did, their little fun senior pranks. And
Yeah.
but we had our prom a couple weeks ago down here at the Symphony Orchestra Hall. First time they ever held a prom there. It was beautiful.
Yeah.
Great location for that. But then we had our baccalaureate Sunday. We have our honors night Thursday, and I hand my daughter her diploma and all her friends on Friday. So
That'll be cool for you.
it will be.
And you're also retiring from the district.
Well, I'm leaving Hanover.
Yeah.
Not necessarily retiring. It was one of those that I became superintendent when this group of seniors were in first grade.
Wow.
I'm ready for a change.
Yeah.
And I'm so close with them and their families and everything else. I've known in my heart that once Leah started 9th grade, once she hit high school,
Yeah.
my goal was to get her through, and then it'd be time.
Yeah.
And we've got Denise Bergstrom lined up. She's been in the district. I think she's student taught in 91. 20 years as a middle school principal. She's ready to step in. Our new ADAP from a year and a half ago is going to replace her. Jeff Waltz came to us from Clinton, great guy. And then we've got another name that a lot of the sports people around will know, Chris Van Epps, who's been a longtime varsity baseball coach at Vandercook, and then we got him over to Hanover for a few years, and leaving the 4th grade classroom after 20 plus years, and going to be our new ADAP.
That's great.
Wow. I
So
took
all the
his,
administrative positions are filled.
Senior pictures,
Yeah.
Chris.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So
That's
that
great.
was one of the things I felt good about leaving when I did, because we've got our budgets in good solid shape, facilities are in good shape, we got all the right people in position for me to step away and know that I left it in good hands.
What are you most proud of? I mean, so many changes over the course, like you said. I mean, and we all know that the lifespan for a superintendent is not quite
Under
as long.
2.5 years
Yeah.
right now in the state.
Yeah.
And Leah's graduation this year will be my 12th as superintendent.
That's pretty
So
cool.
I was able to beat the curve.
Yeah.
I think a lot of it just the fact of being able to get through all the dips that we had. The facilities I'm obviously proud of. Building that practice gym, getting air conditioning for the kids. A couple of big points of pride there, but just, when I got the job, my goal was to get my son into high school. Survived through his middle school years,
Right.
which was 2.5 years to get him through middle school.
Yeah.
And then he got to high school. I was like, okay, give me 4 more. Get Evan through high school. And then Leah started high school. I was like, all right, I got 4 more. Because you just never know. You're, as a superintendent, you're one board election from switching your majority over on you. And you hear the horror stories, and I've been blessed with a wonderful school board to work with. throughout the time, and I like to think that I was able to leave it a little better than I got it, and hopefully Denise will be able to do the same thing and keep doing the great things that Hanover's been doing for years.
Can you give us a hint into what you'll be doing next year? Still just a kid, John.
Yeah. I'm actually pursuing a couple of different superintendent vacancies.
Okay.
Actually, it's in the news, so I'll be up in Hazlitt tonight interviewing for their job. There's a couple others that I'm not looking to truly leave the area, but I've got my time in. I can retire.
Yeah.
Although, knowing how expensive senior year was for my daughter, I'm probably going to have to work until she gets married. But she's getting ready to head off to Hope College, and I'm just looking for, I'm not so much tired of the job of superintendent, I'm just ready for a new challenge.
Sure.
Meeting new people, doing new things, struggling with new problems, just, that 7-year itch and ready for something different.
Yeah.
What are the Hazlitt school colors?
They're blue and gold.
Oh, you're going to have to get some new clothes.
Yeah, I've had a couple people that have already hit me up for my stock of Hanover coats.
Yeah, you've got a lot of nice wearables, I'm sure, that people have been admiring over the years.
Yeah, that was one nice thing about it. I never had to worry about what coat to grab.
Yeah.
It was just a matter of, I got like 10 different coats for every 5 degrees of weather or wind or rain or anything else. So.
During your time too, you're also, at every sporting event, every concert. Talk about how important that is as a superintendent for a district to really, show up, really.
Well, I think it's essential. Not every superintendent does.
Right.
But I had Bob Dubois was my superintendent over at Napoleon when I was growing up. And at that time, the joke was kind of, has anybody seen Bob Dubois' wife? Because neither has he. And he always had his bright green sport coat on and was always standing in the same spot. And every game you went to, he was there. And he'd see you and he'd ask you about the game or compliment you. And that was just kind of the role model I had of the role. And, I love walking down the elementary school and getting the hugs and the highs, and out in the community being able to get the same thing. And I think it's important for the kids to know that the superintendent's approachable and that they're there for them. And, even now I've got, I think I've got six different students that ask me to hand them their diplomas.
Yeah.
Pretty
That's
cool.
awesome.
And I'm glad you mentioned the legendary Bob Dubois. We're thinking of you, Bob. Great to see you. Good luck over the next few days of your final reign at Hanover-Horton, and best to you in the future. It's been great partnership. All that you've done for JTV, we're very grateful.
Well, the amount you guys have done for all the kids, and you got a generation of kids that don't know what it's like to not see their highlights.
Yeah.
Or, and when it comes to local sports coverage, you guys are it. Unless you want to pay subscription services, which I'm too cheap to do.
We all are too cheap for that, John.
But you always see, Jeff Steers or somebody else out at the games taking pictures and covering all the sports. And our kids are spoiled and don't know it. But thank you for all you guys do.
Yeah, thanks, John.
Best wishes to the Hanover-Horton class of 2024, including the Denney family. More of the morning show after this.